Well, welcome back to my video. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. We are in the middle of summer. It is a beautiful, hot, and sunny day, and we're going to be making some hay. I don't often post videos about my farming in the Hunting Farmer, but anytime I do, it seems I get a lot of requests. Would you please do more of those? Well, I liken it to taking your camera to work and filming yourself at work. Your boss may not be very happy or excited that you would waste your time or the whole day trying to film at work. But I asked my boss if I would have permission to do this video of making hay here. I granted myself permission, and so since my boss is okay with it, I'm okay with it. So I'm going to let you tag along today. We're going to be making hay for my cows. Now, I have showed you my cows before on my channel here, and they're grazing. And during the growing season, during spring, summer, and fall, they do a lot of the grazing, and that's where they get a majority of their feed. But I got to look ahead and have plenty of feed for them for all winter long. When nothing else is growing, the cows still eat every day, and probably a little bit more. As the temperatures get colder, they need more energy. So that is the point of making hay, is to store it away for the winter and to have plenty of feed to feed my girls. So I'm going to invite you to follow along. I'm going to show you a little bit of the process of what I go through as I make the hay. You should get some pretty interesting angles here today, and I'm going to explain kind of as I go. As you can see behind me here, we're going to be utilizing a round baler. That's the tool I use. No, we're not going to be up in the hay mow throwing small squares today. You might remember that in your youth, going to help a grandparent or maybe an aunt and uncle on their farm. Many folks can relate to those hot, sweaty times throwing hay bales. Things have definitely changed a little bit. We'll be using a round baler, and I'm going to show you the benefits of that, exactly how it works, and what we're going to do with those round bales after we bale them. So let's get into the tractor. Well, the baling's all done. You're thinking, great, you're all done. With what I had mowed, I got a little over 60 bales here. And you can see all behind me here, they're scattered about in many different fields. These bales, for little information, they're 5 feet tall and they're 4 feet in diameter, so 4 by 5, and they weigh approximately 12 to 1,400 pounds a piece, right the way they are. So you can do the math on how many tons I got, how many tons of feed for this winter off of this select fields that I have just cut. These fields were mowed less than 24 hours ago. It all started with my discbine. It's 13 feet wide, and I'm cutting these swaths, and then what you saw me baling had to be raked. So late last night, or last night right before the sun went down, I was out here raking with a V-rake that pulls a couple of those swaths together into one to form these windrows. Now, if you watch me baling, it looked like it was pretty pretty dusty, pretty dry. These bales still have a little bit of moisture in them. And at this point, I'm gonna carry these bales with my tractor. And then back here I have a bale wagon. These all have to be transported back into the farm. And at that point I'm gonna wrap them with plastic. I'll show you that process of wrapping these great big bales, and I'll tell you why I do that, so stick around. Well, we're in a sea of round bales, and within the past 24 hours, we've mowed the hay, we've raked it together in windrows, we've baled all the bales, we've hauled them all into their final resting location here, and now it's time to wrap them. As I have talked to you before, these bales have some moisture in them. They're alfalfa bales, but they have a little bit of moisture, and I did that on purpose. With moisture, it tends to be a little bit better feed for my cow. It's more palatable, they eat it better, it smells better, but because of that moisture, if you would just let the bales sit right how they are here, they would actually rot. They would start to heat from the inside out, and they have the potential to actually catch fire. Many barns have caught fire when farmers had put hay in just a little bit too wet. They can combust and start a fire. In order to combat that and to actually put these bales through the fermentation process that's going to cure them, we got to wrap them. So let me show you the wrapper. So here is the machine that's going to wrap these bales. This is a self-propelled machine. It has its own power unit on it. We're going to start this thing up, and we're going to place the bales on there one at a time. It has two great big reels that have plastic on it. It actually stretches that plastic really tight as it goes around the bale. And yes, it actually wraps underneath the bale and the whole way around it, and it keeps pushing the bale through as it wraps it. This is quite the unique machine, and it's invaluable here on my farm just to be able to make these high moisture bales and to get them wrapped and store them for all winter long. As you can see, there's rows and rows of bales that were already wrapped, previous cuttings and previous days, hundreds of bales here, but we got to continue to wrap some more what we have today to keep them from spoiling and preserve them all winter for my cows to feed. Well, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. get it a wrap. Well, yeah, that's it for today. I appreciate you following along. Hopefully you found this interesting. Maybe you learned something. If you're driving out in farm country and you see these great big white marshmallows, now you know what they are and what they're for. They're preserving high moisture hay. We're getting ready for winter. We need approximately 700 bales or so, give or take, for me to make it through the winter, and we're well over halfway there. So it's been a good growing season so far, and we still have plenty of the summer left. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them down in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. Try and get back to each and every one of you. And again, I really appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video.